Hello everyone, my name is Leita Miller-Kramer, and my research project was about the effects that anxiety may have on the body. In my thesis statement, I present according to many studies, anxiety can affect the physical health through disturbances in sleep, the brain, and the heart. In my background, I talk a little bit about what anxiety is, although I'm sure there are a few of us who have gone through it. But for a little recap, it's a disorder known for its excessive worrying leading to a noticeable impact in everyday life and function. I mentioned that according to Jelena McKevin-Manovic's news article, How to Combat Constant Worry and Anxiety, 5.7 to 11.9% of adults in the U.S. have gone through generalized anxiety disorder at some point in life. I then go on a little bit about anxiety sensitivity being the fear of symptoms related to anxiety. In my first subtopic, I talk about sleep disturbances and how anxiety is associated. The infamous late-night thoughts that keep us awake are generally caused by moments of stress, as many of us have probably experienced at one point or another, especially with finals coming up. In Insomnia in Relationship with Anxiety in University Students by Noor Shourie, it was commented that those with anxiety were also frequently diagnosed with insomnia, one of the most common sleep disorders, with a 50.8% higher likely chance of daytime sleepiness along with it. Anxiety sensitivity was also found to have a connection in this, as through the hyper-awareness of one's body and the frequent fear of all that may be wrong from the slightest sensation, the chance of losing sleep was rather likely in most cases. In my second subtopic, I talk about the brain, and I dive right in and begin talking about hyperactivation in specific regions of the brain from certain types of anxiety disorder stimulus. These regions were in relation to either emotional processing and regulation or a combination of both. And due to their hyperactivation, it often would cause troubles for the working memory. And this was based off of Moon and Young's study, Functional Neuroanatomy on the Working Memory Under Emotional Distraction in Patients with Generalized Anxiety Disorder. In my third and final topic, I talk about the heart and some of the risks that anxiety may have in relationship to our life-pumping organ. Anxiety sensitivity was very involved in the effects of the mental body with the heart. As in anxiety, one of the most common symptoms is having a racing heartbeat. The sensation of this pounding heart could cause those with high anxiety sensitivity to become more inclined to avoid activities that could induce a reaction such as that, regardless of whether or not the effects in the long run were any better. However, in a direct manner, those with anxiety had a higher likely chance of having higher blood pressure, which in turn leads to having a higher chance of eventually ending up with cardiovascular disease. All in all, the impact that the mental body has on the physical body is a lot more tangible than some may believe, as in all reality they are one and the same. How one affects the other is a game of balance, and the way one tips could send the other into chaos or pull it back into order. Thank you.